Hey, peace, diehards. This is your boy E. Rule, host of the Dynasty Podcast. We got State here with the State, with Diehard State of Mind Podcast. As you can see on the screen here, potential trade. Shams broke that a little bit earlier today. Sexton for Obi and Knox in number 21. But I want to say that State, me and State more than me, actually broke this whole idea here, man. So we're going to get into it again and really annoy the hell out of you guys, man. So thanks for tuning in. The Knicks Podcast. Let's just go for it. Yeah, State, we in here, man.
Yo, what's up, bro?
Chilling. So I know you're like salivating, ready to just spit fire and flames. Cause I gotta restate the thing, man. Like you were like the first one to really start talking about Collin Sexton. You convinced me of it. You know, we went through all different branches of the timeline, trying to figure out how it would work for the Knicks and stuff. So well, now it's actually coming. You know, if Shams is reporting it, you know, then it's got to have some legs to this thing, man.
So this is funny, yo. So I wake up today, I'm seeing a lot of ads on my phone on Twitter. I'm like, yo, why people adding me? Why my phone going crazy? So I just see the Knicks are aggressively trying to trade for Collin Sexton. And you know what I thought about all of the garbage that I've went through for the past like 5-6 months, and people call it stupid. People saying I don't know basketball, they hate my takes, this, that, and the third, and Sexton out of point guard. Like I took all of those bullets. So for this to come out today, I felt vindicated on everything I was saying to you when I first told you about the Collin Sexton trade. So you're looking at a guy, and mind you, Collin Sexton max extension is $28.9 million. I don't think we're gonna give him that amount. But when I first brought that idea to you, Diehard, the reason why I brought it to you was because of Julius Randle and RJ Barrett. And I felt we needed a guy who both RJ and Randle would respect, but but at the same end, a guy where Nick feel comfortable going to war every night. And Sexton just fit the bill to me. And also something that I predicted to you right prior to the NBA draft lottery. I was praying that the Cleveland Cavaliers moved up in the lottery just so they could be looking at Suggs or Green so they could trade Sexton. So everything that I wanted to happen happened. Now it's up to the Knicks and Leon Rose to seal the deal. But how do you feel about the story and you know how do you feel about, like, initially you spoke about this months ago. Nobody else spoke about this. So I see a lot of Knick content creators today moonwalking back. Literally moonwalking back. And that's something I really wanted to say to you, but I wanted to get on live. But I'm seeing positive Collin Sexton takes and all that. Like, yo, y'all dudes are so fake. Because when me and you was we've been was pumping this Collin Sexton to the Knicks thing. But when me and you were saying this 5 months ago, oh, he's a ball hog and he's this and he's that and he's that. Now everybody want to moonwalk because now it's the popular take now. So I want to get your thoughts and feelings upon what I just said, and then how other Knick content creators would try to take the safe takes and then try to take it as their own.
That's we're not about neither one of those things, man. From your podcast to my podcast, we say what we want, and we really don't care what people think. Because that's the thing. Like, people like to talk about free thinking and all this other nonsense, man. It's just common sense. You have your own opinion or whatever. There's something to talk about. You talk about it. You don't wait till somebody reports it and talks about it. So that's one thing that stands out between stuff that you do and stuff that I do. We don't wait for somebody like Shams or Wojnarowski to report something just to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many different scenarios out there. You know, me and you always talking about the Loki series and stuff like that. But there's so many different variables. many things can happen. Just because something isn't reported doesn't mean it can't happen. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, shout out to Shams for throwing that out there, man. Because like I said, I got something blasphemous that's probably gonna piss a lot of people off too. But it just for the whole conversation purposes, man. Because all of a sudden, Sexton is not good enough. Like second round pick the most. But I'm not gonna give him this. I'm not gonna give him that. Like it's like you can't just expect to get a guy that could score 25 points in the NBA for free. You know what I'm saying? And it's another thing too. Like 25 points is not an easy task, man. It's not like random bums are scoring 25 points in a game in the NBA. That's a hard task to do. And then you got other fans. If I could throw Frank in there, they say, "Oh, don't worry about the scoring. It's not about the scoring." So I mean, then what is it? Then what is it about then? I just don't get these fans. It's really like the whole point of what you were saying. Really, is that people are just waiting for the popular thought to come out so they can have something to talk about. They can't think for themselves.
And it's killing me because I'm watching these same people moonwalk back on tapes. Like moon all day today, just moonwalking back. And it's laughable to me, right? Because you got people saying, "Oh, I want to keep Obi Toppin. Oh, I want to keep Kevin Knox." Y'all walked Kevin Knox out the door months ago. And I'm still sitting here defending Kevin Knox. A lot of us walked Obi Toppin off the team months ago. So you mean to tell me you don't want to trade, use some assets to get you a 22-year-old, right? 24 points per game, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, and in the span of their first 3 seasons to the start of their career, NBA players who shot greater than 80% from the free throw line, who averaged more than 19 points per game and shot 35% or better from the three-point percentage, from the three-point field goal range, whatever, is Collin Sexton, Kevin Durant, Brandon Roy, Mitch Richmond, Karl Anthony Towns. So I don't want to hear about Obi Toppin, a lottery pick who averaged 4 points last season, who averaged less points than Frank Ntilikina. And me and you've been sitting here arguing about Frank Ntilikina for the past 2 years. Kevin Knox, a DNP player who didn't play much last season. And first round picks that I don't care about first round picks, dog.
Not after last year, because I mean we just finished winning. We need to expedite this thing. We don't need to like go in the playoffs and then just go back to rebuilding for the future. It's like we got to have a beautiful balance in between those things. Right now we got plenty of young guys that we're quote unquote developing the right way. RJ, Mitch Robinson. Quickly, these guys are being developed properly, right? So we have guys in the stash, and add Luka to this, so we have a chance to make a move, to drop some of these draft picks in there to make the team better. And this idea with Collin Sexton is something that we absolutely could do. Like you mentioned some names, man. Do you want me to do this now?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna make everybody upset, man. So because there's one guy that used to play for Cleveland, right? That his first 3 seasons in the league, he was a lottery guy. His stats are here. He averaged 18, 22, and 20 his first 3 seasons, right? Assists, 5 assists, assists, 6 assists for his first year, 3 rebounds across the board. 2-point field goals, and I'm really big on that. In the beginning, it was 49, 47, 45, 3-point percentages, 39. Decent player, right? Who is that guy? Kyrie freaking Irving, man. Kyrie Irving, his first 3 seasons in the NBA, he was trash. You want to talk about? I guess you want to talk about injuries. Was he injured a lot? Yeah, he was injured a lot his first 3 years. Who did he have on his team? He had nobody. The same. It kind of sounds similar to a guy that we're talking about right now, man. So without further ado, let's just drop Collin Sexton's numbers up there, because like for people that automatically say, oh, how could you compare Kyrie Irving to Collin Sexton? Well, watch this podcast. Check out Collin Sexton's numbers. Collin Sexton's numbers: 16, 20, and 24. Okay, assists is not as high because he's not that good of a passer. Also, too, they have more than one ball handler over there with the Cavaliers. They've always had more than one ball handler. He's never been the guy to constantly be dribbling the ball. He's really a scorer. 3, 3, and 4. Those are the assists. Like around 3 rebounds a game. His percentages. 44 for his first year, 50 and 50 for his second year. That's 2-point percentage. Free throw percentage is always in the 80s. 3-point percentages are 40, 30. There's going to be 38, 37. He actually shot 47% from the field in total last year. So somebody that's shooting 47% from the field, 37% from three. 4 assists, 3 rebounds, and 24 points. If anything, I can argue that maybe Collin Sexton is better than freaking Kyrie Irving. How you like them apples? But it comes to like a point in somebody's career where they're at the cusp or whatever, or maybe they just on a team that don't have no talent or whatever. So the prime opportunity for someone to succeed like him is now. Kyrie Irving got LeBron James in his 4th year. So if we trade for Collin Sexton comes to our team, maybe Collin Sexton extends his career into that upper echelon of player. Who's to say that he won't? Because he's already putting up the numbers the same way Kyrie was putting up the same similar numbers when he was at the same age.
It's crazy, bro. And Collin Sexton averaged 25 and 6.6 assists when Garland went down when he was right. And when you look at contextual data, for the guys who just love stats, Stat Moves got this, right? When you look at lineup spacing, right? This is just the percentage of guys who's around Collin Sexton when he's on the floor who can space the floor. And he's in the 9th percentile. That is disgusting. That is an F. So basically what this is telling me, right? And I watched Cleveland run out Andre Drummond and JaVale McGee lineups when Collin Sexton was on the floor. So what this tells me is people call Collin Sexton a ball hog, but you want him to pass to Cedi Osman, Isaac Okoro, and Larry Nance Jr. I remember watching a game where Damian Dotson started at point guard for Cleveland for a couple games. Sexton has had, I believe, minimum 5 coaches in 3 years. And this is the same excuse that us Frank fans, and I'm a Frank fan, that is the excuse I've given for Frank before. And I've said this to you. And you say, no, look, State, I don't want to hear that garbage. So Sexton has had 5+ coaches in 3 seasons. He's played with nobody apparently on his level. And people kill him. They talk about, oh, he's not a leader. So what the hell is Kevin Love doing? Who is the max player over there? What is Kevin Love doing? When you see videos of Kevin Love just throwing the ball on the sideline, or he's getting mad because Sexton is holding the ball for too long. What you want him to do? Pass it to you? What you doing to put in that work? I remember watching, I think it was All the Smoke podcast. And it was one of Kobe Bryant's old coaches. And he said Kobe was in a practice one day. And he said Kobe said he wasn't passing the ball to nobody. And he said, well, he asked Kobe, why are you not passing the ball? Because those dudes don't work hard.
That's a fact. Kobe Bryant is the illest dude out there to do that. He was doing that with Shaq. Because Shaq came into camp out of shape. And he's like, yo, man, I'm not passing him the ball. Don't run no plays for him. I'm not throwing him no alley-oops. I'm taking the shot because I'm ready. I'm prepared to go out there and play. He is not prepared to play. So, like that's the segue you just threw at me. This guy, Frank Ntilikina, like, how many years do you need, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like you mentioned that Collin Sexton, he had like 5 coaches in 3 years. Okay, but even though he did that, even though that's hardships according to like Frank fans, right? He still managed to give you 16, 20 the next year, and then top off at 24. So who's holding him back? The 5 coaches? Is the Cavaliers coaching staff developing him properly, or is this the same kid that was cursing out Penny Hardaway Jr.'s kid? Right to Penny Hardaway Jr.'s Penny Hardaway's face right on the court. You know,
Mhm.
that's the type of player that Collin Sexton is. A fearless guy, somebody that's fearless. You know, so he basically is gonna define himself. He has his own battery pack in his back. He doesn't need anybody to teach him anything or whatever. He already has that thing about him. So you know he's on the right trajectory. His stats are not all over the place. They're consistently getting better. Somebody posted here that he basically was 50 40 90. You know, that's elite status there. So what happens if you stick him on a team that actually can plug him into that spot? You know, Elfrid Payton was dragged because he couldn't pass, dragged because he couldn't score, can't shoot, legally blind, all that. We always joking about it. Take Elfrid out of there and put Collin Sexton in that same role, and then tell me what happens.
Oof. And for context, Collin Sexton had a higher usage rate than RJ Barrett last season. So people kill me about that. And wait, say what you was about to say, because I wanted to get into the cap situation too.
Well, I came across something too about the plus and minus. I forgot. I think it was like Tommy Beer. I don't know if it's Tommy Beer, but Tommy Beer's always got some weird stat, whatever. So you want to talk about plus and minus for a team that was like 19 and whatever for like 2 straight years. Last year they won 22 games with a shit team. Shit, you know, you just said they had 5 coaches. So you're gonna blame the plus and minus of him having the worst plus and minus 2 years in a row when he was on the worst team? You know, he was on the worst team in the NBA, but still able to get the percentages and stuff that he needs. You know, to be successful.
Yo, Diehard, that was one of the. I hate that stat, bro. I'm gonna give you an example, a prime example of why I hate that stat. Did you know Julius Randle had the 3rd highest defensive plus minus last season?
Look at that.
You wouldn't, me and you, I wouldn't sit here and tell you to your face Julius Randle is a great defender, because that is a lie. so I'm totally ignoring that. I seen that stat, and Collin Sexton, I think he was ranked like in the 300s. Talking about NBA players. Okay, so what? You know, Brandon Ingram was worse during his first 3 seasons than that. Like, when you're in a losing situation, your advanced statistics will always look skewed. That's point blank simple. And the extra thing about the Sexton deal is the Knicks get an extra $6.5 million in cap space if we trade Knox plus Obi plus the 21st pick, right? Because Collin Sexton is only making $6.5 million. So we still have the 19th pick. You just upgraded your guard rotation tremendously. Like, I'm set with guards right now. If we get Sexton and we still got IQ, I'm watching Luka Vildoza. I'm liking what I'm seeing from him. Hey, we could re-sign Rose, and I want you to talk about this too a little bit. We can re-sign Rose. Now, do you see Sexton as our point guard, our bona fide point guard? Do you see him as our point guard, or do you see him as the off-ball guard, the 2 guard?
Well, he's got to be in the same spot that Peyton was. If we're gonna have Randall, we're gonna and Tibbs here. We're not gonna all of a sudden just change the offense. We're gonna basically be running the same offense. Of course, we're gonna get better players. So things are gonna be a little bit different. Julius Randle, I don't expect him to get 28 points a game next year somehow. You know what I'm saying? But he's going to hover around 20, 21, maybe even a little bit less, depending on who we bring over here. Because RJ might actually get better too. But just the root of what we do as far as the offense is concerned, Julius Randle's going to get the rebound, dribble the ball up the court, and he's going to get the ball, whatever, go the cross court passes to the corner threes and stuff. I don't think none of that is going to change. So in those situations, the problem we always said all year was, look at who he's passing to. He got at one point he was averaging like 7 assists a game. But who was he passing to? You got Elfrid Payton to always end up with the ball in the corner, and he's still getting 7 assists a game. Upgrade a guy that's a clear NBA caliber shooter in this league. 50, 40, and 90, right? We just said it. We just showed the stats. He's close to having the triple threat as far as percentages are concerned. Imagine having him catching those passes. You know, right off the bat, we don't start games in the hole. I know that. And then also too, like they also talked about that the Knicks are like one of the highest or if not the highest isolation team in the NBA. You bring a guy in here that all he wants to do is shoot. This is a perfect situation for him.
Um, it's funny. Tibbs, I want nothing to do with the ball in Randall hands. Let me start there. If Tibbs runs the same offense that I've seen last season, next season, I want him fired. He needs to switch it up, bro. When I mean by this is another reason why I wanted Collin Sexton. We need to play faster. We need to not slow down. We need to play fast. I'm watching R.J. Barrett in the Olympics. Nick Nurse, shout out to Nick Nurse. He ran sets for R.J. Barrett. R.J. Barrett wanted to run. I don't want to play the same way we've been playing for the last 2 years. I am not interested in Julius Randle being the highest usage rate player on our team anymore. Our offense stunk. We were second to last in the league in assists per game. Probably dead last in total assists last season. We was last in pace. Our offensive efficiency was probably like 20. I know it's in the 20s. I think we ranked 27th in the league in points total. I'm good on that, bro. The case in point, I'm good on that. We got to run some modern offense, right? I love what Tibbs did. You laid down the foundation. You got those guys playing defense. Cool. He said when the Knicks was interviewing him, right, that they're going to focus more on the offense this season. Well, I hope the hell so. Because I'm not interested in watching no more Julius Randle. He should not be ISOing no more. If you got third year RJ Barrett with Collin Sexton, I should never see him ISO. I should only see him ISO on a mismatch. And that's up to Collin Sexton to identify that. But I'm not worried about that because we got Johnny O'Brien, Kenny Payne. We got a great developmental system. Whoever we bring back, if we bring back Derrick Rose could tell those guys, hey, look, listen. Or you could bring in somebody new into the locker room, like a Kyle Lowry. You know what people was mentioning today. They were saying, oh, Kyle Lowry, Sexton, RJ at the 3, Randall at the 4, Mitch at the 5. You know, if you was looking at that.
Yeah, I get you, man. You know, but you know, you say you don't want the ball in Randall's hand, but like I said before, if we increase the you know, if we just get better, signing better players, so we're talking about Reggie Bullock. What's Reggie Bullock doing for you? You know, he's not creating any offense. He's waiting to get that jump shot. You know, he's waiting to get that wide open jump shot from Randall. If he doesn't have the jump shot, he'll pump fake and take a dribble in. That's the extent of his offense. Maybe a floater. You know, maybe a step in floater. That's about all you're gonna get from him. Elfrid Payton, thank God he's not going to be a Knick anymore. That's not even worth explaining his game, you know, whatsoever. But you stick Sexton in Elfrid's spot, and then you stick. We talked about Lonzo Ball before, but another name that's hot all of a sudden is Duncan Robinson. You stick Duncan Robinson in that 2-guard spot or the 3, depending on whatever floats your boat. It doesn't matter. Duncan Robinson is not just waiting for a jump shot. You know what I'm saying? You can actually call plays for him. He's a good curl player. He can come off the curl and shoot. So that adds another you know, dynamic to the offense. Also, too, he's not just gonna, if he gets the ball and he can't score, he's not just gonna pump fake it, take one dribble and launch it or look to pass it. Duncan Robinson is he's also got that fire in him. You know, between Sexton and Duncan Robinson, the fight, you know, just the competitiveness and the energy that we're gonna have as a team is gonna be much higher. You know, also the IQ. Duncan Robinson has a big IQ as well, so that's only gonna help everybody get better. And then, you know, if we don't get Duncan Robinson and say Lonzo Ball's gonna do some of the same things that Duncan Robinson's gonna do, but he'll give you those lob passes, those lead passes. Just the IQ and just the talent level is gonna definitely increase, and also that'll definitely you know, take the ball out of Randall's hands, and hopefully we give the guy a rest. You know what I'm saying? He could be on the court still, but he won't have to be, you know, trying to nail the you know, make a new court with the basketball, you know, driving nails into the ground, you know, trying to extend the court, you know, all the dribbling that he does, man. You know, we increase the talent level, you know, but just by default, Julius Randle is not gonna be that heavy usage guy.
And this goes into a combo. Oh, and mind you, just for anybody who's listening, Kawhi Leonard has a partially torn ACL. Just got that repaired today. So the Damian Lillard trade nonsense garbage that we've been experiencing for the past 2-3 weeks, that's dead. So now back to regular scheduled programming as far as building this team. The another thing about the Collin Sexton thing is you mentioned Duncan Robinson, and I originally said no. And I said no on Knicks Twitter videos. I forgot who posted that, but they had Duncan Robinson on the roster, and I said no. Now that I'm thinking about it, I wouldn't mind it. My problem, though, is when you got a guy like Sexton, I need some defensive dogs. I need some dogs. I need some PJ Tuckers. I need some Patrick Beverleys. I need some junkyard dogs out there. Because I need a couple guys who's just going to protect these young guys, man. I didn't like the fact how sometimes last season, only looked like Julius Randle was putting up a fight. RJ Barrett is too young. He's not going to really push guys around. And, I know Sexton is going to get into it with a couple people. So I would like for us to sign those type of guys, the PJ Tuckers of the world, Patrick Beverleys. This is just if you're going the Duncan Robinson route, those type of guys. We got to get some dogs in here, man. We got to get some dogs in here. I wish Mook was on the market because he would be perfect. Even though I hated him when he was here, just that type of guy, that type of archetype would be perfect next to Collin Sexton. But I like the Robinson thing though, because you got to guard that man.
Yeah, you can't keep him. You can't keep him floating. You can't let him float. What's the name? Bullock. You could let him float. If he gets hot, you just deal with it. I'm not worried about actually putting a best defender on Bullock because we got to stop Bullock from scoring. That nobody ever said that in their life. But Duncan Robinson, you might need to put a defender on him just to see if you can just keep a body on him. You know what I'm saying? But you're right about the toughness and stuff. Because Mitchell Robinson should be that guy. Really, he was hurt. Nerlens Noel should have been that guy, but he's a good player, but he's not really like a tough guy type of thing. So, but before you get tough guys and before you get defensive players, that's my gripe with Frank Ntilikina. Is that for whatever that he does well defensively, he's not necessarily tough, but that's besides the point. It's just that the skill level that we need to start, we don't have those guys yet. So we don't have the luxury to say, let's stockpile a bunch of grunts. If we don't even have like the firepower, we don't have no firepower, but we just got a bunch of guys. So it's like we showing up to war with guys with rocks, and the other guys got machine guns and missile launchers. You know what I'm saying? So no matter how tough you are, if guys are shooting at you, you throwing rocks back at them. That's a losing battle.
He said he throwing rocks at him. We need more firepower. That's plain and simple. And Mitchell Robinson should be the happiest person if we get Sexton. He should be happiest. I've seen videos and I watch clips. I watch Collin Sexton play myself. And I see him dime Andre Drummond. Easy. And Drummond sucks, by the way. I seen him dime Jared Allen. Remember when we said, I think it was me and you having this talk about Jared Allen, right? And my argument for Jared Allen versus Mitch was, look at the guards Jared Allen was playing with and look at the guards Mitch was playing with. So now when you get a guy like Sexton and you doing that pick and roll, now the center you gotta come up. You gotta come up. Because now you gotta guard Mitchell Robinson. You gotta guard the lob, right? You gotta guard 40% 3-point shooter in Julius Randle, and you got to guard 40% 3-point shooter in RJ Barrett. So you're going to have to pick your poison. And if we get another guy, I'm going to say, for me and you, I think we both agree that Collin Sexton would be the point guard.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I'm not,
So
good.
go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, what was it? G. Robinson. G. Robinson is
Mhm.
complaining about the facilitator. If you got him and you want him to, if you make him be the point guard, you telling Sexton to change his game. Like if you're saying that, you're just not, you don't, you just, I don't want to disrespect you. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like what are you looking at? The Knicks had Elfrid Payton. We didn't even run a point guard heavy offense. The person with the most assists was Julius Randle. You know what I'm saying? So we under Tibbs, we're not gonna run just a point guard driven offense, and there's not many point guard driven offenses in the NBA to begin with. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead. I
Well,
love what you're saying. I'm gonna piggyback off of that too.
well, I'm just coming from it. It's just that there's no Mark Jackson. There's no guy that just has the ball. It's only Chris Paul. Chris Paul's the only one that has the ball in his hand, making all kind of decisions like that. Even Dame Dollar, he's a scorer first. He's not like coming down the court and trying to get guys involved. You can see that in the Olympics. He's just not that guy. Even Curry, all these guys, none of these guys are like that. They can pass. You know what I'm saying? They do make good passes sometimes, but they get their money from scoring. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why Sexton has to have all this pressure and change and stuff like that. When I just compared, maybe he just came on the podcast late, but I just compared Sexton to Kyrie. And right off the bat, people are gonna say it's blasphemous because people like to hold on the sack of these superstar players. You know what I'm saying? But at one point, these guys weren't superstars. You know what I'm saying? At one point, Kyrie Irving was one of those guys that be like, look, I don't know if this guy's going to be good in the NBA. Now all of a sudden, like everybody's on the sack of Kyrie Irving. But maybe it's Sexton's turn.
So I got a new thing, and I'm gonna bring this out to you. I'm gonna bring you this new thing, right? It's called the Devin Booker theory. So said player numbers on losing team, they get no respect. The Devin Booker theory. Now Devin Booker gets his respect because he's in the playoffs, right? You got people in this chat. Guy says somebody has to put up good numbers on a trash team. Sexton isn't a good fit. So what was Julius Randle last season? I need to know. Because if Julius Randle took 7 years to get to this point of now we're gonna label him a winner, we gotta be fair. Right? Sexton is 22. If you're expecting him to pass the Cedi Osman, Isaac Okoro, who they had him in lineups with Drummond, Jared Allen, but come on now.
19 wins. That's all they had. 19 wins. You don't even gotta like give these guys on their roster shine. Because these guys are terrible. Half of the guys on the team.
And it's crazy. People they killing me. And it's crazy because people like, if he's so good, why a team want to trade him? Well, if Randall was so good, why New Orleans let him walk? Why do you let these dudes walk? Come on now. If De'Aaron Fox was so good, why the Sacramento Kings hasn't made the playoffs in 16 years?
Yo, if Chris Paul was so good, how come he's been on like 15 different teams in his career? You know what I'm saying? That could be blasphemous for some people too. On one of the threads when I first came on Twitter, really messing with you guys, I put it out there and I said that the CP3 is a journeyman. Yo, everybody went crazy. How dare you say the CP3 is a journeyman? Yo, man, if you play for 27 teams out of 30, what are you?
Mm-hmm.
You're a journeyman. It doesn't take away from your greatness. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't take away from your greatness. If you look throughout the history, there's been a lot of point guards that have been on other teams. Ross Strickland's one of my favorites of all time. He's been on millions of teams. Just go down the line. Kevin Johnson was on the Cavs, but then he went to Phoenix and balled out. How come Cleveland is getting rid of Kevin Johnson? If Kevin Johnson's so good, you know what I'm saying? I bet you there was some fans in Phoenix like, yo, why are we going to trade for Kevin Johnson if he can't even get run for the Cavaliers? But then he comes to Phoenix and drops 20 plus and 7 assists a game for like 7, 8 years. So Terrell Brandon's another guy. He was another guy that was on Cleveland that was playing behind Mark Price, same kind of way that Kevin Johnson was. They make a trade and he goes to no, they don't make a trade. Mark Price retires and they give him the spot, all of a sudden he's getting 25 a game, and they're like, where the hell did that happen? It's all about opportunity or whatever in this league, and 9 times out of 10, guys show you what they could do. If you look at the percentages and stuff like that about what with these, and then that'll tell you the whole story right there. Of the trajectory of certain guys, like Kevin Knox, Kevin Knox and Frank and Obi a little bit too. But we all agree that Obi's going to get better next year. But just what I'm trying to say is the percentages are not there for at least for Knox and Frank. So you can't say, he just got to get more opportunities and then he'll shoot the ball more. But he hasn't. I mean, you got to at least have the numbers. Let's say Sexton. Nobody likes Sexton, right? But he has the numbers. He has the shooting numbers to prove that he has the potential to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Knox don't have that, but people believe in Knox more than they believe in a guy like Sexton, and Sexton is actually doing it. They would rather keep a guy with the potential to do something rather than get a guy that's actually doing it and been doing it for like 3 years already.
You know what I think it is, Diehard? I think, and tell me if I'm wrong when I say this, right? I think people had their heart set on who they wanted, and now that they see the Knicks are the most aggressive when it comes to Collin Sexton, they say outlandish things like he's a ball hog, or he's trash, or he doesn't play defense, or he's this, or he's that. Damn, you don't even know the brother, and you judging a 22-year-old who averaged 24 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. So let me get this straight. If we had a prospect that we drafted, right? Let's say we drafted any one of these guys the past 2-3 years, and the Knicks was talking about trading our 22-year-old who averaged 24 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, I would want everybody fired. I want everybody. I want the janitors fired. I want the president fired. I want everybody fired. We overrate our own and don't even understand what's in front of you right now. You just got off the 4th seed. Other teams is getting better. You cannot have $60 million in cap space and 2 first-round picks and don't come back next season without a young point guard where you can look at and say, we could go to war with him. That is a failure. Failure to me. Signing Lowry, no disrespect. Signing Lowry, no disrespect to Chris Paul, Mike Conley, before we get a young point guard in the building, failure to me. That is utter garbage, bro. Utter garbage.
Yeah, I agree, man. We're talking high about Collin Sexton, but it's the same. I keep referencing Frank because like Frank gets so much thing because people get so mad. Like if you say, well, I don't think Frank got it. All you gotta say is that I don't think Frank got it, and people go off the freaking. Oh, they want to kill you. They want to hang up the get off the internet and go searching for you because they want to eat you. They want to kill you. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand that emotion with certain guys, man. So, I mean, like the point I'm trying to say is that like Collin Sexton does have his flaws, but we can't even get into his flaws because we just have to convince people that 25 points a game is 25 points a game. 50, 40, and 90 is like, what more can I convince you? Like he's putting up the numbers. Like, so like I can't even get into the fact that maybe Collin Sexton's handle is not as good as it should be, or maybe his first step it might not be as good as you want it to be, or maybe like I can't even talk about his defense. His defense is all right, but we haven't even gotten to the point where we could talk about how he plays defense because we're too busy arguing the obvious.
I don't know, man. It's for me, and I'm a Frank fan. I'm a Kevin Knox fan. I've defended both prospects from you multiple times on various occasions. I've defended Frank for 4 seasons, right? And I love him. I always say, yo, man, his defense is good. He's going to be this. He's going to be that. Frank Ntilikina at 19 averaged more points than my recent lottery pick, who was 23, who was supposed to be NBA ready. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? On top of the fact that we picked Kevin Knox, and I love Kevin Knox, bro. I shared videos of his recent workouts. I'm rooting for the kid. You know, I try to big up Kevin Knox because people, you know, he's not the sexy topic to talk about. You know how people is, bro. They always go with the safe takes. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't like safe takes. I like to just speak my mind, just like you, brother. You like to speak your mind. I love to speak my mind. I don't give a damn about what anybody else says if I believe in that team. You know, Kevin Knox and Obi is like, you almost have to send those guys in that trade. You almost have to. Then on top of the fact, Sexton is CAA. We all know CAA runs the Knicks. They're the mob. That's the same group that traded Andreas Bargnani to my Knicks. And we sacrificed 2 first-round picks. Oh, my Lord. We sacrificed Jamal Murray. That's another reason why we got to go get Collin Sexton. Because Jamal Murray should still be in the Knicks uniform. He should still be in the Knicks uniform. And you know why we traded for Jamal Murray? So it's called Timeline of Events. And shout outs to all the Loki people because the new episode of Loki does come out at 3 a.m. and I will be awake to be watching that. But it's called Timeline of Events. So what happened that led to us missing out on Jamal Murray? You trade for Carmelo Anthony. You give up multiple first-round picks. So to help Carmelo Anthony, stupid Phil Jackson, oh my God, you sign Carmelo Anthony to a no trade clause, and then you trade for Andreas Bargnani. You give up 2 first-round picks in that deal. One of those picks was Jamal Murray, and then the other pick the Toronto Raptors used to trade for Kawhi Leonard. So we helped the team get a chance. We helped another team get a championship. Matter of fact, to bring it back to the 80s, we traded a first-round pick, right, to the Chicago Bulls. A lot of people don't even know one of those New York picks that the Bulls had used to get Scottie Pippen.
Jesus Christ, man.
Hold on. We was 1 pick away from Steph Curry, and we picked Jordan Hill. We was 1 pick away from Collin Sexton, and we picked Kevin Knox. So you see where I'm going with this, bro. But last thing, let me just give you this last thing. We could have traded, and I don't know if this was true, but we could have traded Mitch, 8 and 25 for LaMelo Ball. Come on now. This. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we get it both ways, man. It's a trade that we made that we shouldn't have made. Like, damn, why did we jump the gun? And there's this trades that we should have made. It's like, yo, why didn't we do that? You know, so you know the Knicks are always on one extreme, or they're just doing both at the same time. You know, right now we could basically do anything we want right now. You know, the point of this podcast is not to say that Sexton is the guy and that's it. You know that it's a conversation. You know, I see some people getting a little bit mad. Same guy. I don't want to single anybody out, but you know, people are getting a little bit mad about the stuff that we're saying. But it's just a conversation. You know, because the next rumor that comes out, we're gonna be talking about that too. You know, and there's so many different things that we can do, and you know, via trade or signing guys that you know it's just all about talking. You know, I can see that State got popped off. Oh God. Yeah, man, but he should be back in a second, man. You know, this is all internet stuff, live stuff here. We don't do anything pre-recorded. You know, as you can see, you know, State is in the middle of delivering on the future Knicks fans of the world. So that's the reason why he is where he is, man. And, you know, I've had my long day, and I don't even know how I even made it this far. You know, guys always, you know, in the comments sometimes they make fun of my eyes, my eyes are like burning out of my head. But it is what it is, man. I just want to shout out, while we wait for State to come back, I just want to shout out some of you guys that are here. You know, a bunch of guys here today, man. Thank you very much. The chat is actually popping. The viewership is up too. Frank Matos, Bodega Wi-Fi, Mike Morgan, Knicks Community Podcast. Shout out to you, man. Definitely got to get up with each other. P Lover, a bunch of guys here. You know, this is the guy that said the 50, 40, and 90. You know, it's a bunch of different things going on here with this chat here. I really appreciate you guys. We got Delano Steele Jr. I've seen him plenty of times. A couple guys too, man. Like I said, G Robinson. I don't mean to shout to to throw you under the bus, whatever. I just happened to see your tweet. Other guys are saying stuff too. You know, we got it's gonna be Frederick, a bunch of other guys too, man. Shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for coming in. But here goes State. Let's bring them back in here. Hey State. I just letting everybody know that this is live, man. So anything can happen at any time.
Oh yeah. I don't know what happened. The whole building like Wi-Fi just went out, so I had to use my phone.
All right, no problem.
But I was basically just saying, like, you know, all the failed moves that we did, and then the last thing, I don't know if you heard me when the Wi-Fi went out. The Mitchell Robinson, the 8th pick and the 25th pick for LaMelo Ball. I'm kind of salty about that. If that's the rumor deal, I'm salty about that too. So it's a lot of things that I'm salty about, and we gotta get some help, bro. I'm trying to compete, quick, fast, in a hurry.
Yeah, I see the Bucks playing well. I see all these different teams. Atlanta, I want a rematch. You know what I'm saying? I want to run it back with them. You know, I hope that they pencil us in there for a Christmas game or something like that. You know, because I'm thirsty. I'm thirsty for competition. You know, and then like who are we? Like, you know, the Knicks have been bad all this time. Like, who are we to say, oh nah, you know, Collin Sexton is not good enough to be on the Knicks? Yo, what? You know, anybody coming on this team is good enough to be on the Knicks because we've been bad for so long. You know what I'm saying? So as long as it makes sense basketball wise, you know, I'm not talking about bringing Collin Sexton here and making him the focal point and the leader and the savior and all the other bullshit that sports writers been putting into our heads all these years. It's not about that. It's about building the best basketball team that we can build. And right now, $60 million. Right, you made a great point that if we trade for Sexton in this particular deal, we actually come back with even more cap space. You know what I'm saying? So that, you know, that basically you know, is gonna like nullify losing any cap. So we'll still have 50 to $60 million you know, in the offseason, depending on which draft site you look at or whatever, you know. So we'll still be able to get at least one max guy, super max guy, you know, and then we could still get another guy to add to the team that's decent, and then still play that game where you get like veteran minimum guys and things of that nature, man. So, you know, the sky's the limit for us. And then still, even after all of that, we still, in this, especially after this trade, we only giving up one draft pick. We might end up giving two. It depends on what happens. If they add a player, that type of thing. But we're still going to have draft capital going down the line and then into the future. And we bring it back Luka and stuff like that. We got Emmanuel quickly. We're covering all bases. We got you know, players that's in the pipeline, and we got the potential to drop guys in the slots now to make us compete with the current NBA, man. So we in a great place, and it's not really something for guys to be all bent out of shape about or just start crying about, you know, this, that, and you know, we in a perfect time to build this thing up, you know, and you know, whatever bright idea you have, I'd love to hear it. You know?
Mind-boggling that. And you know what else too? Like, a lot of people is scared, and I understand why you're scared, right? Because none of the trades that we've done in the past, well, within the past 20 years, none of the trades that we've done has worked. And I understand that you're scared. I understand that you want to keep Obi Toppin, right? I love Obi Toppin. I respect that. I understand that you want to keep a guy like Kevin Knox, you know, for the few people who want to keep him. I respect that. But at the end of the day, we're at the point right now, and this is why I love the RJ Barrett pick too, that you got the 4th seed, so expectations should be raised. And not only from us as a fan base, but for the players themselves. You know, mainly Julius Randle. We destroyed that man. I'm gonna be honest. I destroyed that man. When after his playoff series, he played like straight up garbage. And I don't care what nobody say. That is just fact. He played horrible his playoff series. But you know, you can learn from that. You can come back better from that. And looking at the roster, they better be coming back better from that. From that whole debacle, we was destroyed during the playoffs, and I know Randall was embarrassed, and I was embarrassed as a fan. And Reggie Bullock, let's run it back in the A. Very next game, the dude goes 34 minutes, 0 points. That can't happen again. That can't happen again. Literally, I watched Trae Young literally bow down in Madison Square Garden. If that doesn't want you to get Collin Sexton even more, I don't know. I'm trying to be competitive. And also another thing to look at too, right? You said we could keep one of those draft picks, right? So let's say we get Collin Sexton, we trade, Knox, Obi, the 21st pick, and we bring Collin Sexton in. Is there a way? A lot of people ain't gonna like this, but I gotta say it anyway. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Is there a way on God's green earth we could get in a separate trade Andrew Wiggins in the 14th pick? Is there a way that the Knicks can facilitate these two trades back to back? So now your wing spot is covered. You got the 14th pick, and I believe the trade was for the 21st pick. So you got the 14th pick and the 19th pick, right? You want to package those two picks to move up, give cash considerations to move up a couple slots. You can still get James Bouknight. Just a thought. You can still get the guy who you want, and then you still got 25 plus million in cash space to play with. So you can still say, yeah, I got Wiggins, I got Collin Sexton, or another guy. Let's say people, it's a couple Kelly Oubre fans, so let's say Kelly Oubre. You can still go out and get you a vet point guard. This just for the people who say, yo, Sexton not a point guard, and I just want to make everybody feel comfortable. We can still offer Kyle Lowry a contract. You could still offer Lonzo Ball a contract, right? So it's so many avenues that we can take. I just feel like this trade right now, it reminds me of when James Harden was first traded from OKC to Houston. I'm not saying that Sexton is going to be an MVP caliber player. I'm not saying he's going to be this. I'm not saying he's going to be that. Because when James Harden was traded to Houston, he didn't have a Julius Randle and a RJ Barrett. You know what I'm saying? It was just him. So the impact this guy can have on the team as a whole, and if he buys in, he can easily be one of the best point guards in the Eastern Conference. Easily one of the best guards in the Eastern Conference. And finally, the market that he's in, we're going to force that man to become a great point guard. If he's a point guard, we're going to bully him to become a great point guard, whether he likes it or not. So I don't know if he likes pressure, but we already we bullying RJ Barrett to be a Hall of Famer. And that oh man.
Yeah, I don't think Sexton's gonna have a problem with confidence and stuff like that. Like I said, I already mentioned that he was cursing out Penny Hardaway, because his son was so trash. A couple other things. There's like a famous meme where some kid was talking trash to him at the free throw line, so he just went down up in his face and was like staring at him. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just a guy that just got a huge set of balls on him, man, But, like you mentioned all these different scenarios. Anything can happen. You actually, if I think that we can get Wiggins in the 14th, you already know I'm not too sure about that. But, anything is possible. These NBA teams, already proved that they're going to do anything. So, I mean, even if we was to get, like Sexton, we could still sign Oubre, to whatever contract, still get Lowry. There's still a way to maneuver stuff around to get other players. So the sky's the limit. But I just want to pull out. I'm going to single out Cully because Cully's always here. So this is something that he said a little earlier, man. He was like, "Nah, Diehard. We don't want to repeat the same process of quick fixes that we did in the past, and then that we're going to end up being behind the NBA as the NBA evolves and we're dinosaurs." How? We got RJ Barrett, right?
He called the Sexton trade a quick fix?
or whatever we're saying. Anything that we're saying here, we just want to stay away from quick fixes in general. That's what I'm getting from him. That quick fixes, and we want to make sure that we don't, get behind the NBA, and as the NBA evolves, we stay as dinosaurs. But I mean, how can we stay as dinosaurs? We got RJ Barrett on the team. We got Quickly. We got, if we bring Sexton here, Sexton's only 22. So how would we be behind the NBA? How we were behind the NBA before, we were signing guys that were already past their primes or just straight up wasn't good at all. And we were capped out for years, paying the luxury tax and this, that, and the other for like 20 years. We was paying it. That's the sins of the past. I understand everyone's afraid. Like you mentioned that before, being afraid. If you're afraid, man, go get a dog. You know what I'm saying? Go get a dog. Or go get a nightlight or something. You know what I'm saying? Go like get like I don't know, like get a roommate or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Move back at home. In the bed that you grew up in. You know what I'm saying? Don't be. This is just basketball. Like I'm saying, my man, you at work. That's how much you love the freaking Knicks. During your time, your break or whatever, the time away from whatever, you're using that time to talk Knicks. God knows what the hell I did to today and this week or whatever, that I got the energy to even be up here talking about the Knicks. This is supposed to be fun. I just don't understand why it has to get to this being scared. We're talking about being scared. Like scared of what? Of basketball? Like I got a bunch of Knicks hats, man. Like am I afraid to wear them? I still don't get that, man. We're in a place where we're trying to build a basketball team. Like, what are you afraid of? You're afraid to get better. I think that's what it is. When it comes to success in life in general, some people will be like, nah, man, blah blah blah. Or like if you're doing it, if you're doing something and you're winning, right? People are like, oh, why you did like that? Why are you doing like that? Oh, you think you this that? There's always something, in people's mind and in their mouth saying things, that you defeat yourself. If you say, oh no, the Knicks and this, then that's, and then if it happens, you can't be like, oh, let's see what happens. That's what you put out there. That's what you said. You said the Knicks were going to be trash. So if the Knicks end up being trash, then what? Then be happy because that's what you wanted. That's what you said. You said you wanted that. You said that the Knicks are going to do that. You know what I'm saying? So whatever move that we make, if it goes wrong, then you should be happy because that's what you wanted. I don't know, man. I just want to get better, bro. There's so many different ways to do it. I did a podcast and I added Kevin Love to the equation. And that's a way to get Sexton, because they would give Sexton in a way to get rid of Kevin Love. I understand nobody would want to do that, but it's just a way to get. It's just a conversation. It's just a conversation.
So for me, just to answer that Kevin Love thing real quick, I'm with a lot of people. That's hell to the no. I don't even want to entertain Kevin Love on the roster while Julius Randle's still on my roster. But if Obi Toppin if he's going in the trade and Cleveland want to give up, I can't do it. I can't do it, dog. I'm sorry. I tried to talk myself into it. It's blasphemous, man. It's garbage. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. And I wouldn't even want, and that's a great point, Gregory. Shout outs to you. You said make James Dolan buy out Kevin Love. James Dolan, I am sick of that man paying these dudes retirement contracts. He's still paying Joakim Noah. He's still paying David Fizdale. Let that man say, please, okay?
And people call him a bad owner, but then they say buy him out. Take out your checkbook and just throw the money at the guy. You know what I'm saying? But he's a bad owner. But if you call on for him to spend the money, he's going to spend it. Before we could continue here, I'm not getting that Cully, man. Stop making it into that. I just people what guys are saying. I wasn't going at Cully specifically. I'm just talking in general. You know what I'm saying? So don't make it into me. I'm saying that Cully, needs to get a dog or whatever, man. It's like, to who it may concern needs to get a dog if you're afraid. You know what I'm saying? Like you're afraid to trade Kevin Knox because he might be good on another team. You're afraid that Frank Ntilikina is going to do well on another team. Historically, it's never happened. I did a podcast on that too. Historically, it's never happened. Trevor Ariza is the only one. You know, so it's never happened. So stop saying that it did, because it never did. It never happened that a player went on. If Kevin Knox goes to another team and all of a sudden becomes an all-star, he'll be the first one. You know, if he becomes a starter, he'll be the second one.
I respect it.
Yeah.
Listen, man, just for the people who are Frank Ntilikina fans, we know his contract is going to get declined. We know that his cap hold $19 million, blasphemous. That he is not a $19 million player. I don't care what nobody said, right? But at the same time, you still going to need guys who don't need the ball, right? Who's going to get these low salary deals. He's a guy I would love to bring back, Diehard. And I would love to bring him back at a low deal, 2-3 years. Low deal. Frank Ntilikina. Just because I know some Frank Ntilikina fans watching, and I don't want to feel like we just gonna be selfish here, you know. Our new franchise point guard in Collin Sexton, he's gonna need protection. and that's the reason why I said, get me a guy like PJ Tucker, right? Get me a guy. How can I say this? Remember Mook Morris? And remember how Mook had Frank Ntilikina looking at times? Frank was showing emotion on the court. He was looking aggressive. You see Mook, you know, he like the uncle or the OG on the block. He grabbed Frank by the head. You know, yo, come here, young buck, man. You know, I love you. Frank is a dog. You know, this, that, and the third. So give me a guy who can give these guys confidence. You know, I read a tweet the other day from Fred VanVleet, right? And the tweet said, you know, basically, you know, shout outs to the young guys that's in the NBA. You know, I see people kill these young guys on this app all the time. Just keep working hard, keep grinding. When your time comes, it's going to come. It's all about opportunity, right? And confidence from the coach. So.
And hard-working individual, too.
Yes. But the one thing I will say is I believe that Knox and Frank is hard workers. I believe that people don't give them their just due. They kill those two guys because, you know, you see Mikal Bridges in the finals. You see Michael Porter Jr., that dude just 18 points, 50-40, damn near 85%. You know, Frank Ntilikina, you see Donovan Mitchell, he scores 50-plus points. I understand how you feel, how you feel about him, and why you feel about him. I understand. But, you know, we got to move on, man. We got to move on. I really like, if we get Sexton, I really love the direction where they're going. And I got a narrative I want to talk to you about, too. We didn't even get to this narrative yet. But go ahead.
Well, I was just going to shout out Greg Castillo. Castillo's a funny dude, man. But anyway, he just said the Alex Caruso's of the world. Yeah, even Alex Caruso got a freaking ring. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's all just crazy, man. Like, Bodega Wi-Fi alluded to that, too. Jenny Fry. I'm not sure if Nate Robinson got a ring, unless he got a ring by association. No. But, you know, all these other guys, Mozgov got one with, I believe he got one with LeBron. Yep. David Lee got one with Steph Curry. Shannon Fry got one with LeBron. Shump got one with LeBron. Ariza got one with Kobe. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just because you get a ring or just because whatever doesn't mean you're a good player. You know, but I mean, I get that whole conversation. You know, before you get into the next crazy thing, I just want to, you know, like I talk badly about Frank a lot. The last time I did a podcast about him, I tried to give a little funny but still serious spin to give him a little bit of credit. But if we get Collin Sexton, you know, it would be beautiful to put FIBA Frank next to him. You know, that would be excellent. Oh, you know, but FIBA Frank has got to translate into the NBA. You know, I don't know when that's going to happen, man. You know, but you know, it's still worth giving Frank a chance, but he's not a priority. You know what I'm saying? It's like, listen, like you have a conversation with Frank. Listen, we would like you to bring you back, but we can't do it now. We got to wait till we get the dogs, and then we can fit you into the equation. That's about it.
Nah, that's very true. That's very true. The next thing I wanted to talk about as far as Collin Sexton is concerned, who do you think he's most connected to on this roster? Is it Julius Randle or is it RJ Barrett?
just judging it by what I see from Collin Sexton, because I don't really follow him that too deep, but just his energy that
Hold
he
on,
gives
real
off.
quick.
Mhm.
Real quick. I'm gonna exit out.
Yeah.
Because the Wi-Fi just came back, and I'm gonna go on the computer.
Okay, go ahead. All right, so I'm gonna wait for State to come back to answer his question, man. But he's back already. So there you go. There you go. You're back already. So I'll just answer your question. So Julius Randle. I feel like Julius Randle and Sexton are almost the same kind of player. Just because Julius Randle, when he gets mad, he gets mad. When Collin Sexton gets hype, he's hype. You know what I'm saying? I think both guys are pretty serious. They're serious dudes on the court. You don't really see Collin Sexton joking around or anything like that. He's very locked in, and that's gonna be connected right to RJ too, because RJ and Randall, I think they have personality similarities, and I think they also have a lot of things that are different too, which is good as human beings. But I just think the vibe with the three of them will be very similar. And the thing with that also to say like Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson is a jokester off the court, but on the court he's all business as well.
Yeah.
Yo,
That's the one thing I love about Mitch. I get at the Mitch.
Yeah, what I'm saying. So we just got to continue with that mix. God bless Reggie Bullock, but he talks like you mentioned, he talks a good game, but he just don't have it. He don't have it to really back it up. But somebody like that is good to have at the end of your bench. But we're talking about end of your bench guys. Somebody that's gonna come here for like the minimum and that's it. Herb Williams type of thing. So that's not really somebody to really talk about. But we just gotta you know constantly talk about who's gonna get us to that next level.
So now I'm trying to identify who is a young wing that will be in free agency that we could really take a chance on, and he could really pop for us if we was to take a chance on that guy. I'm really thinking about that right now because we just stated we might trade Obi Toppin for Collin Sexton, so we're gonna have holes to fill at the wing spot. Kevin Knox might be gone, Burks might be gone, Bullock might be gone. So now I'm just thinking about what are we going to do at the wing spot, bro? Like what is your ideal fit? I don't even think you answered this earlier, but what is your ideal fit with a RJ Randle, Collin Sexton in your starting five? What is your ideal fit for those guys? Because I Sexton as the point guard. He's my point guard. I'm not interested in putting him at the two, even though people suggested it, with the Kyle Lowry Sexton backcourt. But I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in that.
Well, right now it just needs to be somebody with a pulse, somebody that can that could do something. So I mean, Julius Randle's gonna get rebounds, push the ball up the court, do his thing. RJ's gonna do the same thing. Sexton's gonna do the same thing. We just need that fourth guy because Mitchell Robinson can't score. So we need another guy that can at least do something. Add to the two, add to something, add to the shooting, add to the, just bring a different aspect maybe. But right now we can't. Beggars can't really be choosers. We just need to get talent, whoever it is. Kelly Oubre, is a guy that, he's just a free agent. That's why we got to keep talking about it. He's available. You know what I'm saying? So like let's say, and it's also the easy way out too, getting Kelly Oubre, because I don't think there's gonna be a fight for Kelly Oubre. So like, if the Knicks wanted Kelly Oubre, he's gonna be on the Knicks, and it's not gonna we're not gonna spend $25 million a year for him either.
My only beef with the Kelly Oubre thing, he's ball dominant. He averaged under 2 assists per game. I think his assist ratio it stinks. It's horrible. So that's my only thing about the Oubre thing. I like the Duncan Robinson thing that you brought up. So 2 names that's coming to my mind right now. Shout outs to the chat too. You helped me with one of those guys. Norman Powell and Josh Hart. And I'm glad you put that. I'm glad you put that on the screen. I'm not high on Norman Powell. I don't really care about him, but I would take him because I could see the fit with Sexton, Powell, and RJ, right? Josh Hart is another guy, tremendous rebounder, right? He could fill in the role at the 2 guard if we're running Sexton at the 1. This is going, honestly, bro, this is going to take a lot of maturing from Collin Sexton in order for this to work. And a lot of maturing from Julius Randle. Because at some point, Julius Randle, it's not even about your numbers no more, bro. It's honestly, like, I don't care about him getting 20 points a game anymore. I don't care about him getting 11 rebounds. I don't care about him getting 5. I don't care about none of that. For me, with Randle now you got some talent around you. You don't need to dominate the ball as much as you did. Granted, you won Most Improved Player of the Year award. You an all-star now. But now it's about your impact on winning. Even if he averaged under, bro, let's say next year playoffs, and he averages 17 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists on great shooting numbers next year playoffs, and we get to the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm paying Randy. I'm paying him because you showed me your worth, right? Your first season, you was absolutely trash. I wanted to trade him every time we spoke on the live, right? Your second season, me and you literally dedicated a podcast to this man, about an hour, 2 hours, talking about how great his season was. And I say it was one of the best Knicks seasons I've ever seen in my life. I've been watching the Knicks for 20 years. You go to the playoffs, you're the 4th seed. Now, your 3rd season in the Knicks uniform, you should be about winning. What's on your calendar should be 55 wins, home court advantage, make sure at least 2 of my other teammates become all-stars, because it doesn't even matter about me being an all-star. I'm going to be an all-star regardless. Shout out to Chris, man. I love Chris, man. He always yelling. Oh, God.
Yeah, Chris is funny, man.
I love you guys, but like I was saying, yo, it ain't about the numbers with him no more, man. I don't care about his regular season. People can tell I don't care about that. No, it's about winning time. So Sexton and Randle, those 2 specifically, really gonna have to change their games to make it work. Honestly,
well, they got to be coached up. You know, that's the coach's dilemma. You know, we have the talent and stuff like that. The guys can do whatever. It's up to Tom Thibodeau to formulate a plan to get the spacing right, to get the timing right. You know, who's going to get the ball in what position and whatnot. Now, also too, we don't. You know, somebody else also mentioned too about a pick and roll. They got to tell Julius Randle to do more pick and roll. You know, whatever. But it's not about like, you know, because they're not playing pickup. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing too. They're not playing pickup. They're playing organized basketball. Right. You know, I don't have like the footage, you know, all the time to really cut footage and show you whatever. I can show you somebody else's YouTube thing. I was going to do that. I was thinking about doing that, but that's just going to take up too much time breaking down somebody else's thing. But it's just like we just the gist of it is, you know, we play, you know, triangle style. You know, people say triangle. People don't know what the hell they're talking about. You know what you're talking about, State. You know, other guys in here that are real like fans of basketball. They know like, if I say triangle, they already know where I'm coming from. But a lot of people don't, man, because like if you're gonna tell Julius Randle to do more pick and roll, it's not up to him. It's up to the coach. They're running it's a 5-man unit, 15 guys, big 15, right? They're playing a team style of basketball, so it all comes from Tibbs, man. So anyway, I just think that once Tibbs gets here. Gets these guys in his clutches, he's gonna get them right. And like you made this, you're the one that made this point. You know, getting Sexton here is somebody that you know, he's had 5 coaches, right? But you know, the other point that you make is that 6 coaches. Jesus Christ,
6 coaches in 3 years.
In 3 years. But you know, the point I'm trying to make with that is that Tom Thibodeau needs a guy that he can mold. You know what I'm saying? Getting somebody like, I don't know, even getting not necessarily Chris Paul, but like getting somebody like I don't know, somebody with like a more of like an attitude or personality is not gonna rock well with Tom Thibodeau. You we're going to be unsuccessful. But a guy like Collin Sexton, he's somebody that has a fire in his belly. He wants to win. He's never been coached before. Tom Thibodeau has the cachet behind him. Say, listen, I'm Tom Thibodeau. Everybody's saying that you're the one that's going to get me to whatever. So I believe that if he gets here, he's going to do anything that Tom Thibodeau say he's going to do. And Tom Thibodeau's not all of a sudden going to be like, hey, run a pick and roll 24 hours a day. That's just not going to happen, man. So I'm just excited, man. And here's the thing with Collin Sexton too. He's coming here making rookie deal money. It's not like that he's making $28 million now. He's making rookie deal money so we can cheat.
Yep.
That's the whole point of that. We could cheat a little bit.
Cheat code, bro. Even after you trade it, now that's a good question. Somebody just asked in the chat too. They just asked who's the number one option, Randall or Collin Sexton. So I'm gonna say that for you, brother. In no way, shape, and form on God's green earth that I want Randall with the highest usage rate on this team or him as my number one option next season. I don't care how Thibodeau figures it out. Figure it out. Our offense was complete garbage. Like all of our offensive numbers was in the 20s. And when we got in the playoffs, people screamed, oh, we got the fourth ranked defense in the NBA. We got torched. We got torched. So to answer your question, for me, my opinion is not really realistic on that because that's just how I feel and I understand that. So that's tough. That's RJ and Sexton and Randall gonna have to figure it out, bro. I can't give you a realistic answer, bro.
Yeah, but like the whole alpha stuff has just been happening now. People have really been saying alpha male and stuff like that. Had arguments with guys that work about that term, alpha male, to be the alpha male. Being an alpha male to me. See, I don't want to get myself in trouble with my mouth. You know what I'm saying? Because I might say something crazy, and somebody gonna put me in a full Nelson, in the street or whatever if they see me or whatever. But I just want to say like an alpha male. Who puts a label on an alpha male? What determines an alpha male? Am I an alpha male? Is state an alpha male? Like what traits make you an alpha male? Like is somebody put it here? I just want to make sure I shout out whoever did it. But somebody mentioned RJ. Is RJ the guy? RJ has a totally different personality. He's very reserved. Nothing really shakes him too much. Whatever. Is he an alpha male? And what's the alternative to being an alpha male? Nobody ever talks about that. Nobody wants to be a sigma. Nobody wants to be a whatever else you want to add to that. You know what I'm saying? So just to bring it back to just the game of basketball, like you just need the term that everybody uses also, dogs. Look, go back to the 2000s and the 80s, whatever. Who was the alpha male on the Knicks for the last two times that we went to the championship? Who's the alpha male?
Yeah, because there was a bunch of goons on that.
It was a bunch of crazy dudes on that team, man. So who was the alpha male? You mean to tell me that Patrick Ewing's going to come in there and shut everybody down? Charles Oakley stick his foot up his ass. You know what I'm saying? And then Charles Oakley can't be in there smacking people like he was doing with Scottie Pippen in Chicago. You ain't doing that to Anthony Mason.
Nah, because you want to punch him in the mouth. He ain't doing that to Mace, RP Mace.
Yo, man. Charles Oakley likes to talk junk as a 50-year-old man, saying that he got this, that, and the other. At the time, like Charles Oakley don't want to talk junk to Mason because Mason would have a whole, city standing waiting in front of the practice facility for him. You know what I'm saying? So, even Biggie had to pull out a gun on Mason in that. I had a story to tell. You know what I'm saying? Chris Childs, all these different guys, man. So, the whole alpha male stuff. That's some. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to alienate nobody, man, but that's like some new shit. You know what I'm saying? A man is going to be a man, regardless of the fact.
I think that's the old school way. Honestly, I think those dudes, they had their teams. This is my team. This ain't your team. This is my team. I'm the leader. I'm this. I'm that. I think in today's NBA, it's equal. You understand you're the best player on the team, but sometimes the best player on the team ain't the loudest mouth on the team. For example, Draymond Green cursing the hell out of Klay Thompson. Ewing was probably one of, and I've seen documentaries. they said Ewing wasn't always the talker. Ewing was a alpha male, but he wasn't a talking alpha male. He just showed you how to do it. So I'm pretty sure guys like Rod Strickland and those guys, Chris Childs and those guys, I'm pretty sure they was the talkers. So everybody got a different term for alpha male, man. It's just for me, I don't want to sit here and say, well, this is Randall's team. This is RJ's team. This is no, it's their team. That's their locker room. Let them kids rock. I will say this though, we do need a good cop, bad cop in here, ASAP. I was watching DeAndre Ayton, and I was watching an interview, and he's talking about how Chris Paul and Monty Williams, they both coached him up, right? He said sometimes Chris Paul plays the good cop. Sometimes Chris Paul plays the bad cop. We need 2 to 3 guys like that. You know, this is why I keep saying this. I don't know why, but after the Collin Sexton trade, like PJ Tucker just keep coming back to me. Like I don't know what it is, but I know we ain't gonna get punked next season, man. We ain't gonna see nobody giving us no secret elbows and chip shots and hip checks. Like shout out to Julius Randle, what he did in the playoffs when he pushed Gallo. But my dude, Gallo, this Italian looking penguin walking like a penguin was destroying that man. So I felt offended when he pushed Gallo. What you pushing him for? You got 12 points, shooting 5 for 30. I don't need to see you push anybody. Push the basketball in here, push on the court.
And then, you know, Gallo showed him love too. So Gallo was kind of shocked. Like, why are you pushing me for? I'm giving you love. I say, yo, congratulations for the most improved player. And you're gonna push me? What's the matter with you? But you know, like you mentioned DeAndre Ayton, man. There's a scene where what's the coach? Monty Williams was coaching him up, right? So right. He's talking to Dante Ayton and Dante Ayton, and Ayton got his head down like this, and they said, he said, look at me.
Kevin Knox. Mm-hmm.
No. I mean, what's the guy?
DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, DeAndre Ayton. What's it? Monty Williams. Monty Williams told him, you know, lift your head up and look at me. When I, like you know, that to me, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. That would never happen. That to me, if that's happening, I feel like maybe I'm in a time warp or something. I'm in a reality that I don't belong in or something, because I just can't see like man to man. I can't see like one man telling me, look up at me when I talk to you. Like, when does that happen? That happens to a 5 and a 7-year-old. Those are my kids. If my kids are having a bad day or whatever, listen, keep your head up. You know what I'm saying? Not somebody that's like 20 something years old, grown man. You know, that's what I'm talking about. But I do agree with the good cop, bad cop thing. But I just don't get the mentality of the young people nowadays, man. Because like you do need like the good and bad cop thing, because these guys are so. They're just different, man. So that's why I say like the whole the whole alpha male stuff. You know. I also agree with the whole what's my man that you're saying the one that's on the Bucks. Are you saying that the enforcer?
Oh, PJ Tucker. Yes.
Yeah, PJ Tucker. Yes. Somebody like PJ Tucker is good too. But, you know, like I almost had an argument with Greg Armstrong on freaking Twitter about that, because he was getting offended because I was saying that the stuff that he was doing to Durant, to me, that's not tough guy stuff. And he's saying, oh, he's trying to intimidate him. You know, that's called intimidation. To me, that's not called intimidation. Like what's intimidating is that like, Durant doesn't want to get ejected, you know, or suspended X amount of games because he's getting into a fight with PJ Tucker. You know what I'm saying? That's intimidating. But I mean, if he was in the street, you just fight. You know, that's what I'm saying. If somebody gets into my face on a basketball court, be fighting. I'm not even gonna let you get into my space to be spitting in my mouth and yelling and screaming. I'm gonna punch you in your throat. You know, that's just the way it is. You know, but you know, we do need an enforcer. But you know, like I said, with the alpha male conversation and all this stuff, it's a little. You know, Benchwarmer said we're getting it kind of like we're getting a little wavy with it. But I mean, like. You know, I don't know. It's just from real life and just what's happening in the NBA court. You know, I don't know, man. You know, maybe I'm too old, bro. I don't know.
Different day and age, bro. Different day and age. Like this is how I'm gonna put it. The enforcers in the NBA, in the 90s NBA, in the 80s NBA, they couldn't play in today's era. Because you couldn't come in my locker room and say to me, why you didn't do this? Why you didn't do that? And then try to smack me up. We fighting. I don't care what nobody say. I'm gonna give you an example. Michael Jordan documentary, when Charles Oakley grabbed up Scottie Pippen, I'd have fought Oakley. I'd have fought Oakley. You not hazing me, bro. You not hazing me. You're not putting popcorn in my car. I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to do any of that. We came to play ball. Now, if you're going to mentor me that way. But all the extra antics, I don't think that really would fly. That wouldn't fly no more in today's era, bro. Another thing, I'm watching the Olympics. Now that we're talking about how soft, NBA locker rooms is, and people so scared of Collin Sexton in our locker room. You're watching the FIBA games, and you're watching how the refs is reffing these games. And you see Team USA struggling because they depend on the refs for so many calls. Soft. And, it's like, come on now. Like, y'all got to get tougher, man. The NBA got to get tougher. Knicks fans, y'all got to get tougher. Y'all got to stop saying y'all scared to get these prospects. I understand that the Knicks ain't focused on your favorite. You just got to deal with it. But it's soft, man. I think personality-wise, Sexton, RJ, Randall, I think it would be a great fit. We would have to get some enforcers, though, for sure. For sure. Like a guy like PJ Tucker. I'm going to keep saying that name because it just keeps coming back to my mind. But I want to talk about a good narrative, That's been sitting on my brain for a while. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So, remember the convo me and you had a couple months ago? And we was talking about when the Knicks drafted Obi Toppin? And we said, we both said, how is both of these two guys going to have a future here? Like, it's impossible for the Knicks to have both of these guys here, right? So Obi proceeds to average 11 minutes per game, 4 points per game. Granted, the excuse is he was behind an all-NBA caliber player. Reports from last summer was the Knicks was going to move on from Randall. They were supposed to trade Randall. We never traded Randall. So Randall proceeds to have one of the best Knicks seasons in the past 20 years. You just wasted your lottery pick on Obi Toppin for him to average 4 points, less than Frank Ntilikina. So now these Collin Sexton rumors come up. So does this officially say that the Knicks are choosing Julius Randle and not choosing Obi Toppin? Is that official right now?
I believe so, man. The writing was on the wall as soon as we got him, man. Like I said, everybody under the sun that rocking the Knicks hat wanted Randall out of here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wanted Randall out of here. Once we got Toppin, we was like, yo, Randall is out of here. Fuck this guy. But as the story started to play out, they, Randall actually, I guess they saw something in him, and they say, oh, I guess, maybe he snapped. Maybe he got better that much that they believed in him. And now we at a rock and a hard place now that in order to get better, we kind of need to make a decision because we can't have two guys that play well in the same position. It is possible, Obi is on his rookie deal, so we can get away with it for a few more years or whatever, man. But if trading Obi in this manner for Sexton would be as if we drafted Halliburton instead of Obi. You get what I'm saying? We do sacrifice a pick, but the pick was an extra pick that we got. You know what I'm saying? And Knox is somebody that we're probably going to end up getting rid of anyway. At this point, even though he still has a chance to get better, everybody does. But I mean, if you look at it in those terms, I don't think it's that bad. Because you just kind of you right a wrong. You know what I'm saying? You made a mistake, you quote unquote made a mistake with Obi, because I mean Obi, you can keep Obi. You can still keep him
You
and
can
go
keep,
and go.
you can keep him. You can
Yeah,
keep him.
and just go a different route. You know, sign a player, sign a point guard instead of trading for one. But you know, opportunity is opportunity. You can get a guy like Sexton. You know, like we've been talking about him for like the last hour and a half or whatever about the kid. The kid got skills, so you got an opportunity to grab a kid at 22 years old is already doing everything you need to do. You just got to do it, and then use your money to sign that wing. You know, sign that wing that we need.
We need a wing so bad. And shout out to my guy Chris, man. He said he shot a couple people over here to view us talking about this Collin Sexton thing. Because I was wondering, like, what the hell is 100 plus people? I've never seen 100 plus people. So I appreciate all the Knicks fans who's tuning in. I appreciate y'all. And Chris, man, love you, bro. I appreciate you if you still watching. But that's another thing too, bro. We really need a wing and we need an enforcer. And Crowder is the Suns' enforcer, right? So look at the two teams that's in the finals. The Bucks and the Suns, right? So both of them, I believe, run 10-man rotations if certain players ain't hurt. But you can identify the roles on each team. You can see it, right? The Suns got Jay Crowder. The Bucks got PJ Tucker. The Knicks, we got to get our own guy like that. Is there any way where on God's green earth, and I love Josh Hart. And this thought just came to my mind. Like, it's just so many thoughts that's coming to my mind as far as the way we could build this team. Is there any way possible? Damn, this phone just made me forget. It was a player that I wanted to say that we could trade for, that a team would like to give us on a cheap. Is there any defensive player right now that can be on the market this summer that we could get on the cheap, that could play 2 or 3 position?
I can't really think right now, man. We might have to pull up the standings just to get a refresher with the rosters and stuff. Want to do that?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll just put up the NBA standings just so we can flip through teams and just brainstorm a little bit. Because I mean, you're right. We definitely do need. We have to just build up everything. We have to build up the talent offensive wise, and we cannot forget about just instilling your will on another team. You know that's what enforcers do. Enforcers help you instill your will on another team. Just when the going gets rough, you got guys out there that that's going to be sticking up for each other, man. So we really do need that, man.
Any buy low candidates? I'm thinking of names. Justice Winslow. Like, is there anybody out there who we can get them off the scrap heap for cheap, have them for a couple years, and we know that they're going to produce? I need a guy who's boom. Now the thought came back to my head. Is there any possible way, Diehard, that my Knicks could get Marcus Smart after a Collin Sexton trade? Is there
Smart?
Any way?
I wonder what his contract situation is on Marcus Smart.
So well, let's look. I got my phone back in my hand, so I could definitely look right now. Marcus Smart, because that's the type of guys that I'm looking for when it comes to getting this Collin Sexton trade, and I think it's $13 million a year.
Do you know when it's up?
His contract is up. I believe it's up 2022, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, I'm going to make sure. Yes, it is up 2022. So he will be 27 years old at the end of the 2022 season. I don't believe that the Celtics would give him up just to let him walk. I believe we'll have to do a sign and trade possibly, but that's a guy I would like to have on the team because he fits the mold. Josh Hart, Dylan Brooks, some of those guys. somebody like that,
Yeah, I'm with it, man. We definitely gotta be we gotta comb the league, and when we're doing our scouting and stuff like that, look around the league and see who we can grab. Dylan Brooks, man. Dylan Brooks, I want him on the Knicks so bad, man. Yo, I think he just signed a contract. Let's see what his see if we can pull up his numbers. I'm gonna see if I can do it too. His
So
contract.
Dylan Brooks, I think he got a steal of a contract. I think he signed a 3-year, $33 million, if I'm not mistaken. It's a hell of a steal because
Yeah.
the way he looked when I watched him, he looked like a 18, 15, and $20 million player. Maybe I'm just crazy, but that's why I'm staying. I say crazy stuff, so maybe he could get that. I wouldn't mind that. I will. Get us an enforcer. That's what I'm saying to Leon Rose. We really need an enforcer. I don't see Randall as my enforcer, right? I don't view him as that. So I need somebody else who's going to cheap shot somebody or play harder defense. If we re-sign Frank, somebody who's going to teach Frank how to be angry. I'm sick of you being nice, bro. I hate when a player on my team is just too nice. I hate when you come off, you're just soft, you're nice. Oh, he speaks so softly. Them 90s Knicks wasn't nice people. I heard stories about Anthony Mace from the OGs of my job. They'll tell you, yo, they ran into Mace in the club a couple times. They'll tell you Mace will put hands and feet on you.
Not just him, the people that's with him. I seen him a couple times too, man. I seen him in the park a couple times. It's scary. He's a scary dude.
Yes.
Because he's big this way and he's big that way too. Pause, It's a big freaking guy.
Woo! that was pause too.
Yeah,
But
big time.
another name that just came to mind. What about Lou Dort?
Yeah, Lou Dort. Yeah, he's not afraid to make contact with people.
Would OKC give him up for something, for anything? We could give him a draft pick and whatnot. I think Lou Dort is worth $8 million to $10 million per year for what he do and for what he brings. I think he's worth that. That's another guy that we could look at possibly who.
Well, Dort he only makes one. He's gonna make 1.7 next year and 1.9 the year after that. So he ain't making no money, And then when you want to talk about timeline over there too, like because we were talking about SGA and all that, it is possible that OKC might decide that they just want to get off this timeline. They want to start another timeline. So they'll just trade SGA for more draft picks or whatever. Maybe Dort can be one of those guys too. Maybe a second round pick for Dort. Because like I said, Dort don't make no money. We can even trade Dort for cash. And Dort is from Canada too. That's another thing too. That's a whole other conversation. Bring guys here that blends in with RJ.
Yeah, Lou Dort, yo, and he played for RJ. We got a little glimpse of it, and we see the connection there. So I can understand why the Knicks would go and grab a guy like that. Secret candidate though, to have a bounce back year with the Knicks. Secret candidate, and I know a lot of people gonna be like, "Yo, State, what the hell are you talking about? Like, why would you even bring this guy up, right?" So, Otto Porter Jr., he played 2 games last season. We don't know what the hell he's going to come back with next season. We don't know. 6'9", long wingspan, could shoot the 3 already. He doesn't require the ball to be effective, right? Is he another guy that you will buy low on? This summer, those guys, the Otto Porter Juniors of the world. I already mentioned to you, Justice Winslow, Stanley Johnson. This is just off the top of my head. I'm just thinking of like random wings right now. But anybody besides Kelly Oubre, because we already mentioned Kelly Oubre a couple times. Guys like that who's on the upswing. And what I'm gonna do while you talking is I'm gonna look at free agency and look at some of these wings myself and try to see if I could pull up some more names if anything. But go ahead.
All right, well, you mentioned Otto Porter Jr. Otto Porter Jr., I think he'll be on the short list if we trade Obi. If we trade Obi to get Sexton here, then Otto Porter Jr. would be great coming off the bench. He could be a guy that could be small forward or power forward coming off the bench. He could stretch. He could stretch the defense and things of that nature. One guy guys are talking about in the chat. They've been talking about him throughout the whole course of the show here. Was Diallo. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Hami Diallo, man.
Yo, Diehard, these are narratives, man. You speak about months. We spoke about this months prior, bro. Everybody's late to the party. We had a whole pod on this, man. Man, y'all gotta tune in to Diehard State of Mind every time, man. Because me and Diehard, we covered that.
Yeah, we definitely talked about all this stuff. Another thing with Diallo too is that he's boom or bust because he might be on the cusp of making the next step too. So yes. that's gonna come into the whole time, and then also he's not gonna make a lot of bread.
Nope.
So we gotta cheat, man. Getting a Dort, he only makes 1.7. We could steal Dort.
I would give a first round. I would give up a first round pick for Dort. Without a doubt in my mind. I don't even got to think about that twice, honestly.
Well, we got the 32nd pick, I believe, right? We could probably just throw that in there. Or like I said, just cash. We could just trade it for cash considerations.
Mm-hmm. So I'm so glad that I pulled up the small forward position in free agency, right? So I'm looking at names. Now, this is under the idea that we got Collin Sexton in the building. Hopefully, the Knicks follow through. Will Barton, dog. That's a dog. I would take Will Barton. I don't care if he's 31. People know I hate vets. It's the right type of vets. I don't hate vets in general. You got to get the right type of vets. Will Barton, right? Nobody ain't punking Will Barton. We know that. Will Trill, we know he's gonna come through. He's gonna ride for his teammates. He's gonna either start or he's gonna come off the bench. He could play the 2. He could play the 3. He could guard the 1 through 3. Tough nose guy. I never seen a guy punk Will Trill. That's a guy.
Also high IQ. Definitely a high IQ basketball player.
Yes. Another name I'm looking at Stanley Johnson, buy low candidate. I got Doug McDermott in the left corner of my eye, but I don't like his defense. And so I'm kind of good on him. But Stanley Johnson, right? So let me continue to go down the list. I like a guy like Torrey Craig, right? We already mentioned Duncan Robinson. I know Duncan Robinson defense kind of stink. I think we would have to. But you did that on purpose, Diehard. You did that on purpose. Shout out to Bobby Portis too.
I didn't say it though. Greenhouse said it. Don't shoot the messenger, man. You gotta put Greenhouse in the crosshairs, man.
Shout out to Greenhouse, man. Portis is playing so well in the playoffs. Shout out to Portis, man. I wish he would have just passed Kevin Knox the ball last year. I probably would have loved him more, man. It's cool though, man. I understand it. But I told you Duncan Robinson. Another name, Keita Bates-Diop. One of Tibbs' draft picks from Minnesota, 6'8", 6'9", long wingspan, a guy who could probably do some things for us. You never know. These are buy low candidates, and that's it for this list. Them other small forwards, I don't want anything to do with none of those guys, honestly. So I could go for the shooting guard position if you want.
Yeah, go ahead, because RJ can basically go back and forth.
Yes. Okay. So looking at the shooting guard position, this first name is so funny that comes up. The first name that comes up is DeMar DeRozan.
We already talked about him, man. I think I almost made you blow a gasket with me giving you my takes on DeMar DeRozan.
I don't want DeMar DeRozan nowhere near this team, especially if we got Collin Sexton. He doesn't fit the bill. He doesn't. No.
Yeah, I would prefer to go a different route too, man. But I get it, but I would prefer to go another route.
So I'm going down the list, right? I'm looking at shooting guards, right? Hell no to Alec Burks. I'm gonna start there. That ball hog, I don't ever want to see him in uniform ever again. JJ Redick is too old. I don't want nothing to do with him. Evan Fournier is an option, but that's only an option for me if we're keeping Frank Ntilikina on the roster. We're gonna play Frank Ntilikina. That's the only way I'm even entertaining Evan Fournier.
Yeah, Fournier, he might be getting old too, man. He's starting to break down his feet. He's getting weird problems with his feet and his ankles and stuff like that. So I think we might need to like ignore him.
His defense in the playoffs was so bad.
Yeah, just as bad as his hairline.
It was alarming.
Yeah, I think his hairline was just as bad too, man. He used to have the ponytail. Remember, he had the ponytail. I don't know what he got. It looked like he got mange.
No, that's true.
You need to go to ASPCA or something, man. I need to put that cat down. His hairline is crazy.
Crazy. And I like Josh Okogie. So, Cully, I'm glad I'm Ghanaian. So anybody who's Nigerian, I got love for you. I want you on my team. I don't care. I don't care.
Shout out to Nigeria, man. I think I got like 50. I forgot the percentages, but I got like a high 40s, like low 50s in Nigerian ancestry, man. So shout out to 23andMe. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Nigeria, man. But Josh Okogie, he's a good pickup. He played on the Thibodeau already, so the chemistry is already there. The chemistry is already there. Case Diop, whatever his name is, the chemistry is there too, because that's Thibodeau's draft pick. So I like these pickups. And also, you want guys who don't need the ball. Josh Okogie doesn't need the ball to be effective. You got to think, RJ, Sexton. Now, this is all under the premise that we have Sexton on the roster, right? You got to think RJ, Sexton, and Randall's going to be the guys who's making the decision with the ball, with the basketball, and those are the guys dictating the offense. So you need guys who can play off the ball, right? So now I'm going down the shooting guard list. I would have loved to have Victor Oladipo here, but he got a hip injury. He might not play. He might not be ready for the start of next season. Still, dog, remember I said this to you. I said,
are you gonna repeat it though?
I gotta repeat it. I gotta repeat it. You can always give Victor Oladipo one of the garbage contracts, right? See how his rehab is going. And you can just try. That's all I'm saying. You never know what can happen. You can just try.
Man, this ain't the Make-A-Wish Foundation, man. We're not granting wishes for these guys. You know what I'm saying? The Rocket's not gonna come out, jump out of a cake, to make him feel good and stuff, man. So.
Nah. So now I'm seeing, okay, Josh Richardson. I don't really like Josh Richardson, but he fills a role next to Collin Sexton, right? Norman Powell. I don't really want Norman Powell, but he fits a role next to Collin Sexton. So next to Collin Sexton and RJ Barrett, so I wouldn't mind it. Malik Monk. Off the bench, I would consider it off the bench, but that's in the event that you don't bring back Derrick Rose. But hell or high water, I think Derrick Rose is going to forever be in a Knicks uniform as long as Tom Thibodeau is here. I don't see him walking unless he really wants to win. I'm gonna continue going down the list. We already said Josh Hart. Josh Hart would be a great pickup for the Knicks. Bruce Brown from the Brooklyn Nets. I wouldn't mind Bruce Brown here, even though he did the debacle, for the Nets when he tried to make that heroic layup. I wouldn't mind Bruce Brown.
What is he though? Is he a point guard or a shooting guard? What is he?
He's a shooting guard.
He's a shooting guard?
He's shooting. Yeah. He's a shooting guard.
When he seems like a tough guy. He's also somebody that we could cheat with too. He's not going to really cost a lot of bread. He's interesting. There's a lot of guys on that list is interesting.
And so we're gonna keep going down the list. I said Bruce Brown Jr. Hamadou. We already spoke about Hami. Terrence Davis, the guy who made the all-rookie team over RJ Barrett. Oh, that is so funny. So blasphemous. Taylor Horton Tucker. Lakers fans, they love him.
He's a good player.
Money. They ain't got no money. So we can throw him $10 million a year. What they gonna do about it?
Yeah, he actually beat us once this year too, right? Horton Tucker.
Yes. No,
Yeah.
I think he had 20 and 10 on us, if I'm not mistaken.
He was busting ass. Did he get a triple double? No, I think he did get a double that game. But he had the game winning shot, man. He was busting ass. He had control of that entire game. So
Yes.
somebody with that ability, we gotta have him on our radar, definitely.
And I'm going down the list. Kendrick Nunn. You know, that's still an option. You know, still Kendrick Nunn. And I'm going down the list, and well, that's the end of the list. Any other name I would have said would have been blasphemous. So, to be real honest with you.
You know, like the point being though is that we're like so close. You know what I'm saying? We can pick from a better bracket of players. You know, like before. You know, we talked about this before plenty of times too. Before we had the Moody Eyes of the world. You know, then we upgraded to Reggie Bullock and Alec Burke. You know, and Nerlens Noel. Next year we might be pulling from a better crop of talent and stuff, man. So this thing is definitely going to get better and better as time goes on, man. This the 1 year vets and stuff, or like, you know, it's just going to be an ongoing thing as we piece together the main pieces. Once we get the main pieces, all those other little things, the little guys, you know, they'll just fit in where they fit in, man. You know.
You say you hit it right on the nose. The 1 year vet thing, nobody. Let's be clear, Diehard. Nobody wouldn't give a rat's ass about 1 year vets on this roster if we was contenders, right? Like
That's a fact. Yeah,
you would never hear that from me because we're contenders, but we're not contenders. So you're gonna hear that from me because you gotta play. If you're not gonna, if you're gonna play 1 year vets, make sure 60% of your rotation is not 1 year vets, right? Make sure it's only 20% of your rotation, right? Or make sure you're always bringing back at least 8 to 9 players back to your roster that you know who's going to be here next season.
Yeah, right? at least get guys that you at least have a thought that maybe they might come back again. You know, they might be in the plan somewhere down the line. You know, but you know, like I said, the Knicks have been bad for so long. Nobody wanted to come here. Like Julius Randle, like nobody wanted to come here. Julius Randle came here. You know, we hit the jackpot with Julius Randle, but nobody else wanted to come with him. Nobody was knocking down our door. You know, they would rather go to Brooklyn because then nobody care about them over there. So if you're a superstar, 3 superstars in New York and you're in Brooklyn, nobody gives a damn. What kind of, you know, that's the story right there, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Like now it's a little bit different. Now we made the playoffs. We showed, you know, that we can compete on the court. They saw our fan base, how crazy our fan base is. All you got to do is put Knicks podcast and like a million motherfuckers pop up. There was somebody in here that was trying to spam the podcast just now, saying to go to his podcast. You know, without even asking us to you know, to do a collab. He's already telling people to go to his podcast. You know, that's not the right thing to do, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta get in the mix. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be going for self. You know.
You want me to be that honest with you? Like I'm one of the most humble people on Nick Twitter. Like as far as like a Nick content creator, and you are too. Like, and shout out to my guy God up Knicks. Like when somebody hits you up, you're always willing to do a podcast with them. And I've hit up people. I ain't gonna say no names, dog, but I've hit up people personally. Yo, can you join my pod? You know, I want to talk to you about, you know, this article what you wrote. Don't get a reply back. Okay, cool. I respect it. But at the end of the day, I'm always going to support people and what they do and support their take. But listen, me and you was first on this train. We ain't gonna let nobody else steal that glory. I've seen people that got the Collin Sexton to the Knicks podcast. No. Flowers. Y'all gonna give him the Y'all gonna give him the Diehard State of Mind. We deserve our flowers for that. And if we get Sexton,
the Cash App will be in the comments, man. The Cash App will be right there, pinned, right for everybody to see. And every time I get a chance, matter of fact, the Cash App for State and Diehard will be scrolling on the bottom of the screen. Put some money in the tip cup, to show your appreciation for the hot takes that we giving here on this thing here, man.
Seeing all of the Knicks content creators just move. Feel so good, bro.
Yeah,
I was cool. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I mean, not to throw out too much game, but we all say that. Most of these Knicks content creators that are out there doing whatever, we all fuck with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like Big Sim. Shout out to Sim. Sim is the Podfather. They call him the Podfather for a reason. When nobody else was doing podcasts, Knicks podcasts, he was the only one sitting on the pedestal. It was maybe him, Knicks Fan TV, and CK. Those are the only three guys that were doing podcasts like that. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing but Knicks. What's the other one? TK, Knick Fan TV, and the Nick of Time show.
Right.
And I call Jonathan Macri the Knick podcast GOAT. I call him the GOAT. That dude, he puts in the work.
I don't know how, man. The Macri, he extends because he's a teacher. Number one, he's a teacher. Number one, he's married and he got kids, and he's still busting shots, at uteruses too, man. Because he just had a baby not too long ago, So I don't know how the hell he's doing that. Because I'm literally hanging on for dear life with the shit that I be doing, man. You know what I'm saying? So just to put stuff out, people have no idea the energy that it's taking to get this stuff to be done, man. But there's just the point of trying to make them. All of us fuck with each other. If there's a Knick event or whatever, we all there, we all building and chilling with each other. Shout out to I could shout out so many people. It would just it would just take too long to keep naming people. But I mean, guys, like real Knicks fans, ones that really just love the Knicks and just want to talk Knicks, and wear the flash, wear the stuff around and just be around like-minded people. We all fuck with each other. The ones that are not like that ain't are not in the circle.
Nah. It's cool. I just hope that everybody just get their flowers when ready, man. When y'all write these articles, just give props when due. That's all. I don't want to see y'all moonwalking. Y'all was calling Sexton a ball hog past 4 or 5 months. Y'all was calling him a low IQ basketball player. Y'all was talking about his defense. Y'all was talking about why the people bringing up his teammates. Oh, why his teammates saying he's a ball hog and he's trash, he's this and that. Oh, now the narrative want to switch to we getting the 22-year-old who's averaging 24 points per game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Oh, now you want to talk positive. Okay, cool. As long as everybody support our guys when they get here, we're gonna be good, man.
Yeah, man. But not for nothing. Real recognizes real. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to everybody in the chat. We got a lot of people holding it down for us in here, man, today. So I appreciate everybody that's taking the time to just hang out with us. On the Diehard State of Mind segment on Diehard Knicks podcast is good, man. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to Danny B. We need to do something. Terrell got his own podcast also. Jarrell's podcast is pretty good, man. I got a bad memory. I can't get the name of it. If you could put it in the comments, Jarrell, I'll post it on the thing. A lot of guys are doing good stuff, man. So we just gotta just keep this thing rolling. Just collab with each other, man. Make things happen.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Yeah, that's all I got. Man. I didn't do. I West Side Gun ad-lib this whole thing. I felt like boom, 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 boom. I'm good, man. I let off all the shots.
Yeah. One thing before we go, man, like somebody mentioned, it was Boost Mobile. He mentioned get them subs up. He's talking about the person that I was talking about, but the subs are going up. It's been going up pretty steadily for like the last last 11 months that I've been on YouTube. So you know, I'm gonna run some stuff by you, State, man. See if you're interested in it, because we got to celebrate something, man. You know, this thing has been going pretty good, and you know, something needs to be done to celebrate, man. So we'll talk about it offline. And just for you guys, stay you know, queued into the Diehard Knicks podcast, you know, State of New York Knicks or whatever. You know, we're just gonna keep getting better. I have a number to call for people to call in, so we'll start experimenting with that, having guys call in.
Yes,
We'll start doing new things like that. As time goes on this summer, man, and just get prepared for the next season, man.
So an announcement, right? So I told you a couple months ago my laptop had broke.
Right.
So I've been working nonstop. Literally, I've been doing like 100 hours every 2 weeks. I'm mentally exhausted. So next month, I'm buying my new laptop, finally. So I got the laptop. I already got the microphone. I got the headphones. Everything. I got it all. I got the Ethernet cord too that you told me, that you sent to me. I got all of that. So next month, when I start doing podcasts from my crib and you know, with the good internet and stuff, and I don't got to worry about my phone overheating, definitely for sure call in. Subscribe to my guy Diehard Knicks channel. You know, we're gonna always bring y'all great content. But definitely, that's a great idea, bro. I definitely want to hear some of these people who, you know, who's friends on us on Twitter. Like, I want to hear their opinion on what we gotta say. Like, I definitely want to tune into that. That's a good thing. Bars and Shots podcast. We do live Sundays and Wednesdays. All right, shout out to you, Mr. Jarrell. I definitely will tune in this Sunday while I'm at work. And so definitely. Wednesday. Today's Wednesday. I mean, well, damn. I know tomorrow's Wednesday.
Well, you gotta put these guys in the queue, man. So you know, it don't cost nothing to subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to somebody's stuff, and then whenever you get a chance, just pop in and see what they're talking about. You know?
Nah, that's for sure, man.
Yeah.
Let the people know where they can find us, man. You know that Screen, Player FM, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play. What's the other Green Room?
Everywhere,
man. You can find podcasts, man. Diehard, man. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's all. We said a lot today, man. We was talking a lot of shit today. It's amazing the shit that we can cover, man, in these conversations. It's crazy.
But we had to put this out today because this was new and useful. We was first in line with this news. I don't care what no other content creator. I don't care about what you're talking about. We was first in line. Steven, you're definitely right. I fixed my battery in my crib so it don't do every 15 minutes. So you're definitely right about that.
Yeah, stay. You got a lot of issues, man. You're a funny dude, man. Unbelievable.
But, yeah, man, that's all I got, man. Hopefully we seal a deal. It already looks like Collin Sexton is in a Knicks uniform. So hopefully we can seal a deal, and then we can talk about how we can improve this roster on our new young big three.
No doubt, man. So once again, Knicks family, thank you for tuning in to Diehard State of Mind. Well, my man State, appreciate you guys. Until next time, man. Right? Salute,
everybody, man. Wear your mask. Hold on. Where's the Purell?
Soap, my brother. Get the soap on them hands.
Damn, the Purell machines go. Well, Purell in hands. Wear your mask and be hard. I'm out of here. Salute to y'all, man. Shout out to Nick Nation.
No doubt, man. Peace, guys.